Hello! One of the people that watches my channel regularly suggested that I bring you along on some of my cooking, because cooking on a boat is an interesting thing. You don't have a great deal of resources at your disposal. You generally only have like 2 rings. I have an oven, but most people on a boat don't, or a lot of people don't. But that doesn't mean you can't come up with something that's really quite impressive, well, for me anyway. So the mission is, this will be Friday feast on board sailing vessel Westerly Way, and I will try and put something together in half an hour or less that is something that is a bit special. Starting tonight with pork chops and mashed potato with onion gravy in my new cast iron skillet. Now, I am an absolute convert to that cast iron skillet. I'm fairly new to cast iron cooking, but I have to tell you that so far I'm very, very impressed. Of course, you're not eating the non-stick coating over a period of time, or at least if you are, it's not toxic. And unlike non-stick, you won't have to buy a new skillet every 18 months, which you do have to do with non-stick, because those things last forever. Anyway, first off, it's going to be mashed, so red potatoes in the pressure cooker. I'll just bring it up to the steam, turn it off, and they'll be cooked to perfection in short order. These are shoulder steaks, pork shoulder steaks, and the reason I prefer to use those is because they always have this marbling and fat in them, and that stops them being dry and helps them to be more flavourful and in fact more tender. The thing with a pork chop, a loin pork chop, is it's very easy to make them extremely dry. So what I've done is, what I'm going to do is salt and pepper these, dry them out, pat them dry, salt and pepper them, and leave them for probably an hour before I cook them. Dinner for one, which is why I'm having 2 pork chops. So I'm just using 1/4 of an onion, because if I do too much of that it'll just be really overpowering. I've also got some leftover dill from some salmon that I cooked for my daughter the other day in the skillet. It was amazing. What I'm going to do with that is put it in the mashed potato, which is good because it's kind of lost most of its structural integrity now. It's a bit wilted a little bit. So this has already been well used, and you can see it's shiny, lovely. So that's an ooni 9.5 inch skillet. The 9.5 inches is the cooking surface. I'm going to put that on about medium. It looks quite high. I'm going to leave it for about 2 minutes till I can really feel the heat coming off it. Got to heat the pan up before we put the oil in it. Let's not skimp too much on the oil. So, one of the reasons I favour this ooni one is it has a detachable handle. See, detachable pan handle. Perfect. Because it means this never gets hot. And once this thing is on the fiddles here, there's no way it can come off there. It touches pretty much all around. It's perfect. You could even use it at sea, no problem. And it comes with this stainless steel trivets here. So, one way and another, for 40 quid, it's hard to go wrong for that. Hard to go wrong. One of the secrets with this, apparently, I'm certainly not an expert yet, is to have the pan hot and to not try and turn them too soon. So I'm just going to leave that and prime it. So those have been popping and cracking in here for about 5 minutes. You can already see the fat starting to render out of those chops. Fantastic. So I'm going to turn them now. If they've stuck a little bit, you see they haven't really, maybe a little bit, but I'm not having any trouble lifting these. If they've stuck a little bit, it's absolutely fine, because the stuff that is stuck to the bottom of the pan is going to make the gravy. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Smell pretty much a good sear on there now. I'm going to take them out. Drop the heat right down for the next step. Where to put the lid? Oh yes. Oh, look at that. I'm also going to get some butter going on in here because we're making sauce in a minute, well, gravy really. How much? Well, I don't know, what is that? A bit more than that probably. That much. About that much flour. Just get a little bit cooked, mixed in. And all that stuff is coming off the bottom of the pan just with that, you know. It's going to be amazing. I mean, that is just going to be out of this world. Oh, look at that. Smoked paprika. Ooh, where's that fork I had? There it is. Now I'm going to stick those back in. Could have got a better sear on one of those, I think, because I don't want those to get soggy. Put them on top. All that stuff in there, that's all flavour. We're keeping that. That one's been preheating. So it's fully cooked really. It's in the oven tenderising. Really, that's what it's doing. It's not even really braising. Not enough liquid in there for that, and if I was braising it I would probably cover it. Oh. Spuds in a pressure cooker. Wait till they hiss once and then turn them off. And when they stop hissing so you can get the lid off, they are cooked to perfection. Jesus Christ, look at that. Yep. Let those steam off for a bit. Personally, I prefer to put the butter in first, get it to pretty much where I want it, and then put a bit of milk in. You might like to do it differently. Ooh. Quite a lot of butter in tonight's dinner, isn't there? Nobody lives forever. Put some salt in there. Fresh dill, what's left of it, bit of a Brucey bonus that one, I happen to have it. Oh, you can smell it though, you can smell the dill. So easy to overdo it with the milk. end up with potato soup. Let's do this. We'll have a pink plate today, why not? I'm on a bit of a diet, so I'm just going to eat both of them. And my gravy possibly could have done with being a little bit thinner, and in reflection I probably should have made it with a little bit of stock. Right, there's only one thing missing. A little bit of homemade sauerkraut, because pork chops with sauerkraut, that's kind of, you know, that's just what people do. Stick a clean fork in there, I think. Pork chops, mashed potato, onion gravy. Come on. The mashed potato is perfect. Just the right amount of salty, smooth, no lumps. It's perfect. The carrots are just carrots. Yep, that was incredible. I would have it again. I would make the sauce slightly looser, a little bit thinner. I also forgot to do my party trick with this, excuse me, which is to rub pineapple juice or lime juice into the meat for about an hour before you use it. And what that does is tenderises the meat. There's an enzyme in those juices that does that, breaks down the connective tissue in the pork. They do it a lot in the Caribbean, actually, they do that. And you can't taste the lime juice or the pineapple, so I would have done that. Tomorrow, when I eat the rest of those pork chops, I probably will. I'm going to clean my skillet now. My God, that was out of this world. See you next time.